Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to the Mintay Papers YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a set of 6 tags that I created using some of the Mintay books. These books are a great way to build a tag, and I'm going to show you step by step exactly how I made the tags and the products that I used. So let's get started. I started with the Mintay books. So here I have the window book, and I have some fussy cut windows in this bowl here that have come out of this booklet. Here I have the frame book, and again I have a bowl of cutout frames from this book. So I like to fussy cut all of my things in advance. Here I have the Mintay Papers wing book, and I'm choosing some butterflies today to add onto my cards. And here I have the door book, and in this bowl over here I have fussy cut some of the doors from this Mintay Papers book. Some of the other things that I'll be needing are some really pretty cream flowers, some twine, a hole punch, and also I'm going to be using some doilies and some paints and glitters and sparkly things as well. So I'm starting my process with 2 doors for each of my tags. So I've got a large door at the back and a small door at the front of each of these tags. I'm also going to be adding some paper doilies onto my tags because I love paper doilies. So I've got one for each tag. And I'm going to lay out my paper doily in between the 2 doors. I'm going to glue my doilies down onto my doors. So just a little bit of glue in the middle of the big tall door at the back. And then we'll have the smaller doors on the front. We're actually going to use a little bit of recycled cardboard to make those doors mount a little bit higher on each of the tags. Looking beautiful already. Now, you might like to ink your doors. Probably best to do it before you stick them all together like I did, but if you have forgotten to ink them, it is still possible to ink them when they are folded together, glued together in layers. Oops, we got an extra doily in there. Go and inking, and an extra doily in there. That's okay, we can use those couple of doilies for later. So we're just inking the edges of our door. This is just a vintage brown ink. Just adds a little bit of character to the edge of each of the little papers that we're using today. So now we've got our 3 door tags, and their base is all ready to go. We're going to punch a hole in the top of each one of the tags so that we can get some ribbon in there and get it starting to look like a tag. So this is white crinkled ribbon, and we're going to use this throughout this project. It looks really pretty on a project. It goes really well with the prima flowers. We're just going to tie that in a little bow at the top. There we go. We're going to continue that for the other two door tags. I'm just putting our ribbon in that little hole there so that these are looking really, really cute. What you can do is add some twine over the top of that ribbon to make it look a little more rustic, a little more country, or a little more vintage, just to add a little bit of extra interest to the white bow. Okay, that's looking beautiful. Let's get this one a little white bow. Beautiful work. So now our three tags have their bases done and they've already got their bows in position. Now I actually like to write a message on my tags. I use them to give to people and little gifts and things. And so I like to have a space to be able to write a little message on a tag. What I'm doing is I'm finding some frames from the frame book and I'm going to cut these frames out, but I'm actually going to keep the middle section of the frame in because I want to be able to write a message on these tags, and the middle part of the frame of this frame is going to be the center of the tag and where I'm going to write. So I'm just going to fussy cut those little frames out. Okay, and they're looking really nice there on the front of each of the tags. I'm going to add a little bit of recycled cardboard to the back of each of the frames, and then we're going to glue it onto our door tag. Pop that one there. Okay, so we've got our three little frames on there, and that's where we'll write our message to the person we're giving these tags to. We need to choose some butterflies for our tags. Of course, butterflies is a personal preference, but I'm going with a certain colour scheme in mind for these tags. I'm also adding a white bow using the same crinkle ribbon that we used before for the little tag hole. We're also going to be using some butter muslin in our tags today. Now, I purchased this at Spotlight and it just gives a really soft feel to your tags. It just creates a little bit of that vintage, distressed, shabby chic kind of feel, which is the feel that I'm going for in these tags. So just adding a little bit of that cheesecloth in, and then I'm choosing some of the flowers that will match the tags. So you can go for contrasting colors or you can go for coordinating colors. It depends on what you've got in your flower collection. And you can make any colours really work. I'm also going to make another twine bow for each of these little tags. And again, that sort of adds to that shabby chic look that we're going for. Now we're going to play around with the design of the elements on the tag. We have one butterfly and 2 flowers. Now I'm thinking that blue butterfly might be just a fraction too big. Maybe I need a slightly smaller butterfly. Thinking maybe this size might be nice. Maybe you can incorporate 2 butterflies onto your tag. This is totally up to you. You know, if you prefer to use birds or bees, use the birds or the bees from the wing book. You don't have to use butterflies. I just use them because I find them the easiest and they're my favorites. But you know, you can use any element on these tags to make them pretty. So it takes me a little while to play around with the composition of elements. I kind of change my mind. I sort of position something and change my mind. And you'll probably find the same as well. As you sort of putting it on, you think, oh, I don't know about that. Maybe this looks better. You know, does the butterfly look better going this way? So you can sort of take your time and just enjoy this process, because this is the real creative part where you get to paste everything down and take your time with the placement of your embellishments. Choose to enjoy it rather than stress over it, and just feel confident in your decisions. Whatever you create is going to look beautiful, so feel confident in your choices. So for this one I ended up using 2 butterflies, and I ended up going sort of around the bottom right hand corner of the tag, and that looks pretty. I like adding the extra colour in with the butterflies, that sort of extra little bit of yellow and light sort of orange just adds another tone into the tag, which I really like. So let's move on now to this navy and white tag and see how we go. We'll add in our twine, our ribbon, our butter muslin. I've picked out some blue butterflies for this one and some blue flowers. I'm not sure if the flowers are going to be a little bit too dark because they're like a navy blue, and sometimes that can be a bit heavy, so I might decide to change those. And you know, I've got the option of, do I use 2 butterflies, do I use 1 butterfly, because there's no rules with embellishing. You can just do whatever you like, and you can just enjoy this process. So I popped on the ribbons, and I'm giving those dark blue flowers a go. And I'm trying 2 butterflies going up the left hand side of the frame this time, whereas the other card I went up the right hand side of the frame, so you can decide which side of the frame you like the best. I decide to sort of change the navy flower because it just sort of disappears, you can't really see it. So I found another blue flower which had a little bit more gold in it, a little bit more texture to it, so I decided to add that on. We're going to move on to this sort of light aqua green card now. Again, following the same process, just gluing the bows on. I've glued them down in the corner. I'm going to use this beautiful butterfly, and I've picked out 2 flowers, a medium flower, size flower, and a small flower. and there's different shades of that same sort of light green aqua tone. And I really like that. I think that's quite pretty. Oops, I forgot to add a little twine bow into this one, so we'll just pop that in. Okay, they're all looking really pretty now. Now you could leave those tags exactly as they are and just give them like that, or if you wanted to add a little bit of mixed media in and have a little bit of play with some mixed media products, you most certainly could. This is just a misting spray in white. I'm just dipping a paintbrush into the misting spray and then I'm tapping it with a pair of scissors, and this makes little white specks go all over the project. You can't see it that well on the aqua green, but you will see it a lot better on the darker navy. And this adds a mixed media feel to your project. I'm going to do another tag now, this one here with the 2 butterflies as that touch of yellow and orange. I made another 3 tags off camera. This is sort of like a dark red vintage one, and this one is sort of more like a darker blue vintage look. So I'm going to add some white spots into those. This one has like a red and blue feel to it. It's a little different sort of color scheme there. So there's 6 tags that I created all together, and I basically followed the same sort of principles of design. I'm also adding in this one here, which is a coffee spray. So this is going to add to the vintage feel because it's a brown spray. It's going to make it look a little bit distressed, a little bit older, give it a bit more character than just the fresh white look. So again, this is all optional. You don't have to do these little sprays, but you can if you want to have a little play, because it's quite fun to experiment with these sort of products. Now again, you could leave it at that point and you could stop there if you wanted to. I have these beautiful Arctic glitter little flakes that are sitting on my shelf, and I was thinking these could look really pretty in the Prima flowers and on the butterflies. So the way I applied those to the tags is just by putting some glue on the flowers and on the butterflies, and then just taking a pinch of the sparkly flakes and just sort of sprinkling them over the glue. So, and the glue held it really quite well. I mean, I did get a little bit of flaking off of glitter, but it's not too bad. The flakes are quite big, so it's sort of not like small glitter going everywhere. And I try not to put too much on. So we're finished with the Arctic flakes now, and you could certainly leave it there if you were happy with your tags. I'm having so much fun adding some mixed media touches. I thought maybe a little bit of gold spray might be nice. So I'm going to dip my paintbrush in the gold spray and do some little flicks on my tags. And I really like the warmth that the gold added, so I found this Art Alchemy Sparks paint. It's called Dragon Eye, and it's got it's gold in colour, and I thought I might add a little bit of this to my tags because I was having such a fun time with my mixed media, I thought I might add a little bit of paint to the edges of my tags. And this just adds a subtle sort of glitzy gold, antique-y gold effect to the card. I actually really liked this paint on the edges of the tag because it was very subtle and nice. It was a little hard to sort of not get too carried away and really paint a lot on because of how fun it was. But anyway, I did that, and then I decided to even add a little bit of my favorite gold kindy glitz on as well, which is quite it's sort of not subtle, it's quite it makes the gold really stand out. So it sort of really added a lot of bling to the tags. And I did this on, you know, the edges of the butterfly and the little edges to the petals of the flower. So that was fun as well. So all in all, making these tags was just a really enjoyable creative experience. I'd love you to have a try making some tags out of the door book and the frame book and the wing book and see what you come up with. They really are really pretty. They're a lovely, lovely gift to give to a friend. The colours are just so beautiful. I love the vintage feel to the tags, and I love the shabby chic feel to the tags, but they've also got that gold glittery, sparkly feel to them as well. So it's a bit of a mixture of styles, but all in all, they've turned out really prettily, and the Mintay products have made this process such an enjoyable creative process. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial for how to make a set of 6 cards using Mintay's books collection, using the door book, the frame book and the wings book. Please make sure you subscribe to the Mintay YouTube channel for a new video released every Sunday. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely crafty day.